Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time via Zoom. It is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. Yesterday, we had the soft launch of the Small Business Certification Program. We spent quite a bit of time talking about how it operates and some different scenarios in which you may want to consider using it. Today, we're going to take it to that next step and look at a simple illustration model that has 2 pages on it. The first page, which we see displayed now, is the value proposition to you. And then the second is the value proposition to the client. So let's start with what's in it for you. And again, if you didn't watch yesterday's training, you may want to go back and view it. We did share it with everyone. So the small business certification includes 2 of the 3 elements of the access to capital. Access to capital includes financial literacy, building a lender compliant loan package, and guaranteed access to a minimum $100,000. The small business certification addresses 2 of those 3, the financial literacy and the building of the loan package. And you might say, well, why in the world would I want to offer that instead of the full access to capital as a first step? Well, I think that's exactly the logic behind it. I think we do want to get folks to the access to capital program, but you may want to consider using the small business certification as the first step. And so let's look at the flow here, and then we can dig deeper into why that might make sense for both you and the client. So this is a chevron chart, and so it represents 3 events. The first is the small business certification enrollment. So we're developing an affiliate network for the small business certification program. Of course, there's no cost to be an affiliate. That will include a free landing page. That'll include the automation, turnkey. Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, is putting that together as we speak, and we anticipate that'll be fully ready to go come March 1st. Between now and then, we're doing a soft launch. Those of you that are interested in being one of the master affiliates, you're welcome to get involved now, understanding though you won't want to be adding new affiliates yet because Scott's got to finish the infrastructure. I don't think we did a good job of explaining what a master affiliate is, so let's do that before we move on. The concept of a master affiliate is it's one of the first people in to a hierarchy whereby large numbers of affiliates are added underneath them. So I apologize if we hadn't described that before. And again, there's no cost to be a master affiliate. But ignoring that, let's just talk about the value proposition to you through the small business certification model. So the client enrolls, and for you to do that, it should be very simple. It should not, in most cases, won't require some elongated conversation. In most cases, you can probably just refer them to your landing page, and then you earn $100 up front. Now, there's 2 ways to look at that up front. Some would say, thank goodness, because I want to make sure I'm earning something for every client that's coming in. Obviously, we all want to earn more than $100, and we'll talk about that as we go through the flow. But if we can at least earn $100 per conversion on the front end, that keeps, greases the skids, fuels the engine, keeps everything running. You should be spending way less than an hour to get a client converted. In many cases, you'll spend literally no time because they'll just go to your landing page and enroll. But even if you did have to have a 15-minute conversation with them, that's obviously much greater than the equivalent of $100 an hour on the front end. The asterisk represents that while we're not MLM, not network marketing, not that there's anything wrong with that, but we do have an override affiliate comp model whereby it pays 3 levels deep. So in addition to any revenue that you generate yourself by sending someone to your free landing page, you can earn overrides from your affiliates and your sub-affiliates. So that would be passive income and not really the topic today. The second trigger here on the Chevron chart is the KeyPerson policy. If you're not life insurance licensed, don't fret over it. Just skip this one. But if you are life insurance licensed or have a friend or family member or buddy, someone that you know, then this is very significant. So again, we're looking at this page from the perspective of what's in it for you. In a moment, then we'll come over and look at it, what's in it from the client. It's the same 3 triggers. It's the same program, it's the same process, but obviously what you get out of it is different than what the client gets out of it. So from your perspective on the KeyPerson policy, you can assist them with their asset protection if you're licensed. Again, if you're not, just skip this, it's fine. And depending upon how you set up their KeyPerson policy, you could make a little more, you could make a lot more. It's based upon the client suitability and how you set it up. But that's the second economic trigger for you through the small business certification program. The third is getting them into the full access to capital. And I'm going to read this and then we're going to dig in a little deeper because this is probably the most sensitive of the chart. If they are a good fit, then we can help the client upgrade to the full access to capital program. And now they have a guaranteed $100,000 capital raise. And of course, you earn 5 points on that, which is a minimum of 5,000. So on a per client basis, you know you're going to earn at least 100 up front, so it's not a waste of your time. If you are life insurance licensed, you should have about another $1,000 coming to you within the first 30 days. And then we have, of course, another 5,000 if they upgrade into the access to capital program. So let's dig into that a bit. Well, what does that really mean if a good fit? The example I used yesterday was a real example. It wasn't made up. That we have a client that came into the current access to capital, not the small business certification, but he wants $7.5 million to start a business. And a great man, great person, but he doesn't qualify for $7.5 million. So by him not taking this stair-step approach, here he is in the full access to capital program. And frankly, he's a bit disgruntled because he wants a $7.5 million. He thought he would get $7.5 million in 28 days. We never told him that, but that's what he thinks. And so now he's disgruntled. By taking people through these steps, we can avoid that because once we've built their financial literacy and built their loan package, then we're all on the same page. And so what I mean here by a good fit is if what they're looking for is entirely inconsistent with their mitigating circumstances, they might not want to move forward to the access to capital. Now, does that mean that they have to be perfectly qualified when they come to us? Of course not. We can work with them. That's what you and I do as technical advisors. We help them build their 4 C's, their credit, frequently business credit, their collateral, their capacity, and getting them a commercial address if needed. So you and I are here to help them solve their problems and help them move from where they're at to where they need to be. But the point is, if you take this incremental approach, you will make more money up front more quickly. You'll still have the KeyPerson policy income. And actually, you keep 100% of it through the small business certification. It's not a split. So actually, you just double your KeyPerson policy commissions. And then thirdly, you still have the same back end revenue for those that are really a good fit. Now, what's the risk? The risk is we bring someone in, you make $100 up front, you get their KeyPerson policy placed, and then they decide not to upgrade. They want to take that new knowledge, that financial literacy, the loan package, and they want to go do it on their own. Well, that's okay, right? This is not a shell game or a bait and switch. If they just simply want to complete the small business certification and then go on their own way to get their funding, that they can do that. It's permissible because the small business certification is not a funding program. But frankly, if we've all done a good job of developing a rapport and a relationship and created value with that client over that 28-day period, very few of them will want to just go off on their own. So This, in summary, is the proposition to you through the small business certification model. It's an affiliate-based model. You can be a white label partner and a small business certification affiliate. There's no cost to be an affiliate. Landing page is provided free. Earn $100 up front. Keep 100% of the KPP and make your 5 points in the back end. Any questions on the value proposition to you? And then we're going to switch over to the client. Any questions there? Okay, if you have any, just pop them into the Q&A, which is like chat, Zoom. Okay, now we're going to flip the coin over, because all of this is only really relevant if what we're providing to the customer is of value, and it certainly is. So let's now look at it from the customer's perspective. This now is not what's in it for you. This is what's in it for the customer. We still have the same chevron graphic. The labels are almost the same. Notice I changed the label of the second one. Here on what's in it for you is called KeyPerson Policy. We're going to generalize that a bit from the client's perspective and call it collateral. Okay, so let's talk about the bullet points of what's in it for the client to enroll in the small business certification. Well, for them, in just 4 weeks, 28 days, they're going to get prepared for a capital raise with a lender compliant loan package. Now, to the financially literate like you and I, that is a big, big deal. Now, it may be that your prospect doesn't even know enough to know that that's a big deal. But why do we need a lender compliant loan package? Because you're not going to go out and get a big business loan or a large amount of business funding just off of a smile and a nice hello, right? You have to have the documents that the lender needs, the business plan, the financial forecast, the KeyPerson policies, the package. So that's what you and I create. If they were to just go out and pay someone to develop a loan package, they would probably pay $5,000 to $10,000. Our program is $2,500, but we've got a grant that covers $2,104. So all they're paying is $396. And if that's tough on them, we can break it into $499 payments. So the first proposition, or first point of the proposition for the client, is in just 4 weeks, we're going to help them get prepared for a capital raise with a lender compliant loan package. Secondly, all participants will receive a minimum, and this is guaranteed, at least $10,000 in business credit without using their social security number. So just in the small business certification alone, since it's not a funding program, we are not guaranteeing them the $100,000 capital raise. They would need to enroll in the access to capital, which we'll see here at the bottom, for the full $100,000. But in this case, at least they're seeing a positive return on investment, right? They're learning what they need to know. They're getting a loan package, and they're getting at least $10,000 of business credit under their EIN without using the social security number, and that's guaranteed. So they're obviously coming out ahead, even if they don't move forward with anything else. And then, of course, this is, as I mentioned, a grant subsidized program. That's why they're not paying $2,500. If it weren't grant subsidized, we would be asking them to pay $2,500 to enroll in the small business certification. Well, that would be a stretch for a lot of people. They don't have to do that. We're covering, what, 90% of it or so. And so you've got to be careful with your wording here, but it is fair to say, hey, you can go through the small business certification, and this is a program that was designed to help any client raise at least $100,000. Well, that's true, right? Because we're doing 2 of the 3 things at access to capital. We're building financial literacy, we're building a lender compliant loan package. But don't misinterpret this with a guarantee of $100,000, because that only happens once they enroll in the access to capital, which we'll see here on the 3rd segment. So small business certification, what's in it for you? Getting $100 up front. What's in it for them? For under $400, 4 payments of $99 or 1 payment of $396, they're getting all of that. So next bullet, it was KeyPerson Policy from your perspective. From their perspective, it's about collateral. And again, It's so important that we build financial literacy, because you could have clients that say collateral, I don't have collateral, or I don't need collateral, or I don't even know what collateral means. And that's okay. We're going to educate them of the relevance of that. And it's addressed primarily in module 3, as you may know. But from the client's perspective, we're going to help them set up the collateral that's needed to qualify for a large capital raise. Because the underlying message here is you can't just want money. Like the guy that wanted 7.5 million from yesterday, you can't just want 7.5 million and get it. You have to qualify for it, right? You have to qualify for it. And so that's what you and I do, is we help people qualify for funding. That's what makes it work. It's not a scam. It's not too good to be true. We help them qualify for funding. Well, one of the elements of qualification is collateral. A lot of our clients don't have the collateral they need. You and I fix that. So there are multiple types of collateral available, including our collateral support program. Not really the topic today. We've covered it before. I'll cover it again. But that's where we can literally add an asset to their balance sheet to improve their fundability, provides them collateral. But we won't go too deep into that for right now. And then also they'll get a financial needs analysis to identify and make sure that their assets are protected. Again, if you're a licensed life insurance agent, or you know one, or you've ever met one, I mean, this is huge. It doesn't get any more valuable to a life insurance agent than to have this gateway, this funnel of clients to sit down with and do what's called an FNA, to look at their entire needs. Because it may be that they don't need just a KeyPerson policy. They might also benefit from a buy-sell agreement. They might not be properly prepared for retirement, and you might set up an annuity or other type of maybe indexed universal life. It may be that they don't have long-term disability or short-term disability or group health, dental, voluntary benefits. So it can go on, but that's between the insurance agent and the client by doing the financial needs analysis. This is golden. The typical insurance agent tells us that a new client over the lifetime of the client is worth on average $10,000 of commissions to them. Not all at once, but over time. That's a big deal. Of course, we're looking at it right now from the client's perspective, not from yours. From your perspective, we just looked at the first policy that you'll most likely sell if you're life insurance licensed, which is the KPP. From the client's perspective, they don't care about you earning commissions. What they care about is having their assets protected and getting positioned to qualify for a large capital raise. You see? And then the third, access to capital. If the client is a good fit, then we can assist you in raising a minimum of $100,000 to start or grow a business. And that, of course, is guaranteed through the Access to Capital program. And there's all different types of funding that's available. So the purpose of this exercise this morning was to have a basic, but a graphic illustration of the process flow, what's in it for you, why you might want to consider leading with the small business certification, because you get paid money for every client up front rather than having to chase some clients around. You still are able to get the KeyPerson policies written if you're a licensed life insurance agent. If not, you can work with a friend, family, relative that is. And then you still have the same back end potential, but frankly, we can vet out some of those people that really aren't a good fit based upon what they want. So it's okay if, again, this is redundant, but if a client is not where they need to be to get to where they need to be for the amount of funding they're looking for, that's okay. That's what we do. We help them build the 4 C's. What we want to protect against are clients that have just entirely unrealistic expectations. Well, we don't really know how realistic or unrealistic it is for a given client until we've gathered data and had a chance to work with them. And so by going through the small business certification first, we have had a chance to work with them, understand their circumstances, and then if they are a good fit, then you can bump them up to the access to capital. So who has any questions regarding looking at this as a process flow, why you might want to bring people into the small business certification first, get their policy written, and then turn around and upsell them if they're a good fit. So you're still making, the back end money as before, but we're able to vet people out through this process. And then, of course, the other view was from the client's perspective. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on that, go ahead. And I'm going to hit a couple other items that were asked. We received some questions yesterday after we announced the soft launch of the small business certification in terms of lead generation techniques. And we'll be building off of that here in the upcoming weeks as we prepare for the full launch on March 1st. But I'm going to flip over here as soon as my computer catches up to the 27 mistakes. And we've had this 27 mistake curriculum out for quite some time. You can view it online and on-demand YouTube video on 27mistakes.org, but also we can provide you, at no cost, of course, the PowerPoint slides. And you can white label it, of course, but you can go out and visit and teach in person or online this curriculum that will feed people directly into the small business certification. It's the next step. So you can educate and then convert if you want. Is it required that you go out and educate in person or online? Of course not, but it's very effective. So you're familiar with that. And then I think most of you have seen the flyer that we have for the small business certification. And then this will be edited with your information once you get your landing page from Scott, which all those should be available for free by March 1st. Okay, so who has any questions regarding the concept of bringing clients through the process as described here, starting with bringing them into the small business certification, getting their KeyPerson policy set up if you're licensed, and then if they're a good fit, converting them to access to capital so you're earning the back end. Who has questions, comments, or concerns on that? All right, Brian's asking about how to enroll clients now. So let me show you. Let me stop the share for a second. Let me navigate over and we'll show you how we can do that. Now, give me just a second to get this set up. I'll reshare it. Okay, so what we know is that we're going to have a unique landing page for each of you, provided at no cost for those of you that want to be a small business certification program affiliate, but that's not up and going yet. However, it will look like this, and at the bottom, this will be removed, and you'll have fields of information where it automatically tracks to you, automatically builds your sub-affiliate downline, and so forth. But with that being said, in the short term, you can enroll clients certainly by going to the business paralegal site, the small business certification, which is where I just was. My computer's lagging a bit. And then you can enroll them here at the bottom of the page. So you'll get credit for it. They'll be able to go through the curriculum while we're in this soft launch period. And then once we get to the full launch on or before March 1st, then you'll have your own landing page. But in the meantime, if you have clients that haven't converted, haven't enrolled in access to capital, you want to use this as a first step, you can do this. If you have clients that have enrolled in access to capital, but they've kind of stalled, they're not moving forward, they didn't qualify for cash funding, you can use this immediately. So who has any questions, comments, concerns? And let me flip back over to the other page. Give me a second. Who has any questions, comments, concerns on what we've covered today? So Timothy's asking about the About the master affiliate. So if you're interested in being one of the master affiliates, again, there's no cost to be an affiliate nor a master affiliate. What you can do is just reply back to the email, or just email and let us know, and we can get you set up. And so while you won't want to immediately go out and start enrolling sub-affiliates, certainly you'll have your position locked and you can start planning for that. And then once Scott has the back end done, which will be before March 1st, then you'll be ready to unleash that. But you can certainly start planning for that. You can certainly be enrolling clients in the short term, but the affiliate channel development is still being put together by Scott. Okay, who else has any questions on this? Okay, Zon's asking a good one. So if you have access to capital clients that are stalled, so they're not moving forward, absolutely. You can enroll them into the small business certification program. We can release them from that $2,500 balance that they owe for the refundable deposit through access to capital, and then go through the small business certification. So you'll get some money up front, which is a whole lot better than no money up front. If you're a licensed agent, you'll be able to be positioned to go get the KeyPerson policy written. And then again, you're still making the same money on the back end. No one's taking anything away, but what we're doing is allowing them to move forward. So yes, I would like to take Mr. White. Mr. White, I believe that you have probably over 50 clients, 50 that are stuck. They've enrolled in access to capital. They didn't qualify for cash funding, and they've not accepted or not complied with any of the guaranteed financing. So Mr. White, if I were you, I would get all 50 enrolled in the small business certification. That way you're getting, that's about $5,000 to you here this month up front. You can go ahead and get their KeyPerson policies written, be another $50,000 this month. And then of course, you're still getting the same back end income. So this is a great outlet for those that are stuck in the access to capital program if they didn't qualify for cash funding and they're not accepting or not complying with the guaranteed financing. So Zon, you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head. And that's what we want to do. We want clients to be successful. We want them to be happy. If they're stuck in access to capital, I'd get them pivoted over here. Okay, so Hannah is asking, so I can sign up as an affiliate. Okay, yeah. So, and I'm sorry if I confused it. So the 5%, 5 points, because they're going to pay 10% on the capital raise. You're getting half of that, which is 5 points. 5 points of a minimum 100,000, Hannah, is the 5,000. So you need to be a white label partner to get that back end revenue. If you don't want to be a white label partner, you can skip that and just prosper off the first 2 bullets here. But you are right, I didn't clarify that enough. So this is the comp for our white label partners. Didn't cost anything to become a white label partner to enroll, but this would be the domain of the white label partner. So some of you are white label partners and you're saying, well, how would this work? Well, you could become an affiliate, build out sub-affiliates when Scott has the system, recognize that the revenue or over the passive overrides here. You could still write all the KeyPerson policies if you want, KPPs, and then you can still control the back end revenue. So you do not need to be a white label partner to be an affiliate, but you do need to be a white label partner to do the 50-50 split on the back end. So I apologize, Hannah, but you understood that, I think. Any other questions? What's the takeaway? Number one, I would start looking at your current book of business. And if you have clients that are stuck, that are not progressing because they've not paid the refundable deposit for access to capital, they didn't qualify for cash funding, they've not enrolled in guaranteed financing for the 2,500, or they defaulted on it, I'd clean up your books. I would go back and get all of them in the small business certification, so they can be out of default, they can be moving forward. You could be making some money off of those clients that are already in your file cabinet already, and let's move them forward. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. Great. Any other questions, comments, concerns before we end today's training? Okay, we'll see you all back tomorrow morning. Let us know if you have any questions and just email. If you'd like to be one of the master affiliates, no cost to be a master affiliate, but the purpose there is to work with you, and we will be putting a large number of affiliates under the master affiliates. We're projecting 1,000 clients enrolled in the month of March. And so we just need to decide how many of those will be put underneath you. All right, thanks everyone. See you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.